Hi guys, once again very good morning all of you. Welcome back after the break. I am feeling like I am conducting this Kaun Banega Karodpati show. Critical vachestha. Anyway, hey guys, I have one doubt. Anyone in the class, do you understand Telugu? Like how I understand 0% of Malayalam? No, very good. Right? So we'll continue. Yes, the main responsibilities of internal auditor are given in super duper 5 colors. Shall we do it? So I request Sri Lakshmi madam, can you read these 5 points?
Sir. Let me start, sir.
From here, yes, start.
His main responsibility, however, must be first one, to maintain adequate system of internal control by a continuous examination of accounting procedures, receipts and disbursements, and to provide adequate safeguards against misappropriation of assets.
Again, I'll give you 2 seconds of time or 5 seconds of time. All of you read this and do you understand? All these are basics, okay? CA intermediate or foundation level points. All of you read this para again. Continue, ma. Second one.
To observe independently accounting staff and must not in any way divest himself of any of the responsibilities placed upon him.
Did I tell you this? You should not in any way divest yourself to do any of the responsibilities placed on the accounts department. You just focus, monitor, observe how accounting people, accounting staff are working. You don't do it. You don't do it. You are not a doer. You are observer. Next, continue.
Not to involve himself in the practice of executive functions in order that his objective outlook does not get obscured by the creation of vested interest.
Same point. Next.
To observe facts and situations and bring them to notice of authorities who would otherwise never know them. Also, they critically appraise various policies of the management and draw its attention to any deficiencies wherever these require to be corrected.
So this story will spend a lot of time now. I'll set the platform and we'll discuss so many things before coming to material now. That actually try to understand one thing. Is the lecturer speaking some unnecessary nonsense, or he is setting up the platform wherein the understanding of study material will be damn easy after the story? So that story should help you, should not disturb you. So now when you read these points and when you are trying to connect with what this half an hour or 40 minutes the lecturer has spoken, do you understand this? So when you read this point, do you understand this point in the story? To observe facts and situations and bring them to the notice of authorities. It could be board of directors, it could be audit committee, it could be branch manager. So if you do not bring it to their notice, he will never come to know that. That means you are opening their eyes. And also critically appraise various policies. You have to appraise various policies of the management and draw the attention to any deficiencies wherever these required to be corrected. Bring deficiencies to the notice of authorities and ask them to correct it. So are you understanding this point number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the light of the discussion what we have done before the break? Guys, tell me yes or no. Are you able to understand it? Very good. Very good. Sri Lakshmi, continue ma. Fifth one. Hello, madam. Read fifth one, please. I am unable to hear you. Are you in mute?
Sir, let me continue.
Yes, please.
To associate closely with the management and his knowledge must be kept up to date by his being kept informed about all important occurrences and events affecting the business, as well as the changes that are made in business policies. He must enjoy an independent status.
So what they are saying, you should work very closely with the management so that whatever the important event or any big changes that happen to the business policy should immediately be informed to you. You understand? So you should be up to date in terms of knowledge of what is happening inside the company. And you should be independent. You should work close with the management of the company. Still, you should be independent. Now you tell me, when I work for 4 years, when I work for or 10 years as an employee or internal auditor or external auditor of a specific entity, of an entity, I am exposed to which risk? That means, what is threat to my independence? What is threat to my independence? It is called familiarity threat. When I am becoming more familiar and informal with the client, first year I'll be very formal with the client. After that, we develop a kind of relationship. It could be a very healthy professional relationship, but at one point of time it turns to be informal. Like, the board of directors of the company and the auditor are joining for social gatherings. One MD daughter's marriage or son's marriage is there, everybody is participating in social events and all. So obviously you'll become, you'll forget that you are a chartered accountant, you are auditor of the company, and then you might become friends also. I have seen 2 guys, okay, one is auditor and one is director in a company. Okay, I know both of them very closely. Daily they go to a shuttle court to play shuttle. Every day it hits my mind, are they not exposed to familiarity threat? Daily the auditor and the director of the company, they go and play shuttle, because officers club, it is, elite people, cosmopolitan club. So they go play shuttle in Bangalore. So guys, tell me, are they exposed to familiarity threat? But nowhere in law it is stated that auditor and the client should not play games like physical sport. They are exposed to, but how they manage is up to them. It is, their professional duty to draw a line. Chalo, anyway, so this is the main responsibilities. And then read the next box, please. In addition, the audit committee of the company or the board shall, in consultation with the internal auditor, formulate the scope, functioning, periodicity, methodology for conducting internal audit. Put a star mark. Very, very, very important. And MCQ question can be asked from this area. Very important area. Very important area. Who determines the scope of external auditor? A, the auditor. B, the client. C, the statute. D, the central government. Or here we write the shareholders, members. Here I write the management. Boliye, answer bolo. Everybody is saying C. My dear friends, C is wrong answer. Ray, rubber banda, how can you say C or A? So that is your gut feeling, sir. Anyway, I am not writing exam, ICI exam. No, I am discussing in class only. No, I can give you two options. No. A is right answer. The scope of the audit is determined by the auditor. Anyone is correct? Anyone is correct? Oh. In your two options, anyone can be correct. 50-50. Very good. The scope of the audit is determined by the auditor, keeping in view the following. A. The statutory or legal requirements. For example, Companies Act, CARO, LFAR, etc. CARO. Are you kidding me, dear Microsoft? I said CARO LFAR, they made it Carol FAR. Hey, what is LFAR? Correct. In bank audit, you will write long form audit report. Yeah. Statutory, legal, or regulatory requirements. Like it can be C&AG, it can be SEBI, CAG, SEBI, etc. B. Can you tell me what is B? I'm waiting for answer. Please tell me what should I write in B. First one is the statutory, legal, or regulatory requirements. Time limit, wrong answer. Risk, wrong answer. You'll rotate the areas looking at the risk, nature of engagement. All these are in general, you are telling you thoroughly. Someone said standards on audit. Pronouncements of ICA, I should be the correct answer. That means standards on audit and guidance notes. There are other standards also. Standards on related services, standards on engagement services, review. Okay, then 3. Can you tell me what is 3? Letter of engagement. So the scope of audit is determined by the auditor keeping in view the statutory requirements, the pronouncements of ICI, the letter of engagement. That's all. This is if it is statutory audit. If it is voluntary audit, A will not be there. A, the statutory requirement will not be there. In case of voluntary audit, only B and C points will be there. Because there is no statute. Are you following me? In case of internal audit, who determines the scope of the audit? So now tell me, can scope of statutory audit be restricted? Can scope of statutory audit be restricted? No. Why? Newton versus Small Arm Birmingham's Company Limited. That already you have studied in your CA intermediate. The scope of the statutory auditor is determined by the statute, and even a unanimous resolution passed by the entire body of the shareholders cannot restrict the scope of the statutory audit. Even shareholders, members with a unanimous resolution also cannot restrict because it is given in law. What about voluntary audit? In case of voluntary audit, whether the scope can be restricted? Guys, in case of voluntary audit, whether scope can be restricted? Hello? Yes. In case of internal audit, whether can scope of the audit can be restricted? Yes. That's all. Now you tell me this one. In case of internal audit, who determines the scope of the audit? That answer is given here. The audit committee. If section 177 is applicable to the company, then the company will have audit committee. Then audit committee will determine the scope. If section 177 is not applicable to the company, then board of directors. But in any case, it should be in consultation with the internal auditor. In consultation, in any case, either A or B, it should be done in consultation with internal auditor in a formal meeting. You will call for a meeting, internal auditor will be there one side, audit committee will be there one side, board representatives also can be there one side, finance director can be there one side, and then they will discuss. So this is A. So formulation of the scope, functioning, periodicity, methodology, everything will be discussed in between internal auditor and audit committee. If audit committee is not there, then board. Okay, management is a wrong answer. Management is a wrong answer because there is a difference between management and board of directors. Board of directors are those charged with the governance, higher level. Management can be any level. So you cannot write if audit committee is not there, management determines the scope. No, board of directors. That is what they said. Board. Now you might say, sir, what if it is not a company? Idiot, if it is not a company, section 138 is not applicable to it first. If it is not a company, section 138 is not applicable, no. Then management will deal. You understand? It depends on the company. It depends on the entity. So it may also be noted that central government may by rules prescribe the manner and intervals in which the internal audit shall be conducted and reported to the board. Central government can make any rule. Congratulations. That's all. Next, I will give you 20 seconds. Read this. Scope of internal auditors work. There are 7 points there. Read all the 7 points. So here the keyword to be highlighted is what? After reading the whole story, keyword, what is the keyword? Very good, excellent. Review is the keyword. There are 3 questions. Above question is responsibilities of internal auditor. This question is review. Next question is character. Third question is character. So you should be honest, you should be objective, you should be straightforward, you should be impartial, you should be knowledgeable, you should be independent. So all these things, it is about the character. What you should be. Above question is what you should review. That above question is what are your responsibilities. Do you understand difference between these 3 questions? Unfortunately, one question will be given in the exam. You will write another question, lose marks. Guys, do you understand the difference between these 3 questions? One question is responsibility, one question is what are the areas to be reviewed, one question is what internal auditor should be. Okay, then read this left hand side. Be straightforward, be honest, and be sincere in your approach to professional work. Be fair and must not allow any prejudice, no bias, no overriding the objectivity. maintain impartial attitude. He should not only be independent in fact, but also appear to be independent. Internal auditor should not, therefore, to the extent possible, undertake activities which are or might appear to be incompatible with his independence and objectivity. This 4 is the same like your external auditor also. You understand? Sachin, turn on the mic and say hi. Sachin, hi Sachin, how are you?
Fine, sir.
So, how was your Christmas?
Oh, good, sir.
So, how you celebrated? Eating only?
Eating and our family members and neighbors gathered.
Super. So, any Gana Bajana, entertainment, dancing, happy moments are there?
Only that, sir.
Only that. Excellent, no? Very good. So, boss, tell me one thing. What do you think the qualification of internal auditor should be?
I think he should have some kind of accounting knowledge.
Okay.
Then qualification, as already mentioned in that definition. Then,
Okay. Okay.
Then independence, some sort of independence should be there.
Okay. Some sort of independence. Okay.
No, it should not be. Was told that statute auditors independent won't be not up to that, much
Okay.
lesser. That's why.
So, in CA Intermediate, in first chapter, do you remember what are the qualities of auditor? You remember that question?
Please, that integrity.
No. Integrity, objectivity, independence are ethical requirements. Clear-headedness, communication, then knowledgeable, knowledge in law, knowledge in accounting, finance, and the knowledge of industry and economy, basic knowledge of computers or application, expert level knowledge of computers, then tax law. You remember this question?
Oh yes.
Be patient, tact. Hello guys, do you remember? All of you remaining people, let me know in the chat box. Do you remember? There is a question in CA Intermediate chapter 1. What are the qualities of auditor? That same question answer copy paste applies to internal auditor also. Now Sachin will read this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Read ma.
1. The internal auditor IA should have the special expertise necessary for evaluating management control systems, especially financial and accounting controls.
So basically you are meant for that, no? That is your duty, review of controls. So if you do not know how to evaluate controls, you are unfit to be internal auditor. Next.
Accounting and finance functions provide basic data for management control of an enterprise. Therefore, the IA must have accounting and financial expertise to be able to discharge his functions.
Obviously, common sense. He should have accounting and financial expertise. Next.
The IA is also expected to evaluate operational performance and non-monetary operational controls. This requires a basic knowledge of the technology and commercial practices of the enterprise.
So there are accounting controls, finance controls, there are operating controls also. Operating controls need not be monetary. It need not be in terms of, something to do with money. For example, attendance, human resource controls, production control, quality control, administrative control. So these are non-monetary operational controls. So you should know about them also. Next.
He should also have the basic knowledge of commerce, laws, taxation, cost accounting, economics, quantitative methods, and EDP systems.
EDP means electronic data processing. Sometimes we call it EDP, sometimes we call it CIS, computerized information systems. Okay, guys, have you heard a qualification called CISA? Have you heard CISA?
Sir, that somebody's named it that.
No, CISA is a qualification, ma.
Yes. I meant like CA, I use
Yes,
ISO.
yes. Certified Information Systems Auditor. This is a global qualification. This is a global qualification. In India, we call it DISA or ISA.
Okay.
Diploma in Information Systems Audit or Information Systems Audit. This is given by ICA. So if you do not do that, you are not eligible for bank audits and some other type of empanelments. Do you know that? So at least in audit firm, one person must complete this DISA, concurrent audit, DISA. Unless you do these kind of things, you will not get bank audits. These people are also actually very good options for internal auditors. CISA is a very good option. Or, you know, this CAA is there, Certified Internal Auditor. Certified Internal Auditor. So there will be 3 levels, 3 modules. You write that 3 exams, you will be CAA, Certified Internal Auditor. Okay, so they will teach you all these things, including technology. Next, continue.
An understanding of management principles and techniques is another essential qualification of an internal auditor, as also the ability to deal with people.
Yeah, next.
By his conduct, the IA should provide an assurance to the management that confidentiality of such information would be maintained.
Confidentiality you should maintain. That's all. So, what are the qualities of internal auditor? They have put the heading, what are the qualifications? But actually, this is not qualification, okay? So, they said qualifications of internal auditors. No, these are not qualifications of internal auditors. They are qualities of internal auditor. So if they ask you a question, what are the qualities of internal auditor? Write this. If they ask you a question, what are the qualifications of internal auditor? Then you write internal auditor may be a chartered accountant or cost accountant or any other qualification as determined by the board. Whether or not in practice, internal auditor may or may not be employee of the company. Internal auditor can be an individual or a partnership firm or a body corporate, and internal auditor should possess the following qualities. Then write the 6 also. You understand how to write the answer in exam. If they ask you qualities, straight 6 points. If they ask you qualifications, first write that para and then write this 6 points. Are we clear? Can we move on? Hello. Say yes and then we'll go. So next, what about the reporting responsibilities? So like how we have SCA 700 for external audits, independent audits, we have SIA 4, write down, SIA 4 deals with internal audit report. SIA 4 deals with internal audit report, which is similar to your SCA 700, but there will be one main difference. What will be the main difference, you know? The main difference between external auditor's report and internal audit report is external audit report never comprises recommendations. Okay, so do you think in external audit report, have you seen any recommendations in external auditor's report? In SA 700, guys, tell me, have you seen any recommendations in external auditor's report? The answer is no. But in internal auditor's report, it will be there. In internal audit report, recommendations will be there and follow-up actions will be there. That's all. So look at the side headings, title same, addressee same, report distribution list important. So to whom this report goes to whom this report should not go. This is intended only for board of directors. This is intended only to be circulated in our Bangalore branch, like that. And then period, because the period can be 1 month, the period can be quarter, the period can be half year, or the period can be 15 days, any period, year. So you should mention the period of coverage. So that is 4th point. Then they are giving you these points. So opening paragraph, same, objective paragraph, same, scope paragraph, same, executive summary, put a star mark, very important. Distribution list, is a different point. Executive summary, put a star mark. Okay, right on there. This is similar to the types of audit report. This is similar to, or you're right, this is similar to flash report, FLASH. This is similar to flash report. What is flash report? I'll tell you. It will come in management operational audit. I'll tell you. Flash report. So basically this is summary of the text. It is called executive summary. It is called executive summary. For example, if you write some 40 pages report, you have written some 40 pages report. Board of directors are very busy people, and they, all of them coming for a meeting is a very rare thing. So board of directors from 8 different parts of the world, or 8 different people from different parts of the country or world, they came for a board meeting and they are sitting. So you gave 40 pages report to them. Do you think 40 pages they can read? They will have the patience enough to understand? No. They need summary, key bullet points, material issues, major issues, significant issues in bullet points. So that 40 pages, whatever the content is there, you should be able to tell it in 5 points. Key highlights. That is called executive summary. Then your observations, findings, recommendations, put a star mark. Then comments from local management. This is also important. So you are saying that in our Pune branch so and so happened. So what Pune manager told about it? We have identified so and so in Pune branch. And when inquired, the branch head of Pune, Mr. ABC, told this. This is the comment. Then what is the action taken? Whether action is taken or not taken. So previous audit report I have given so and so. Have you taken any action on that? Or have you not taken any action? Why? So from previous audit to this audit. Okay, then date of the report, place of the report, signature. That's all. So what are the changes? Distribution list, executive summary, recommendations. These 3 are addition. All remaining paragraphs are same like our SCA 700. Guys, you understand this? Hello? Can we move to next para? Can we move to next para? Okay, now tell me, answer this, yes or no. Whether external auditor can rely upon the work of internal auditor. I'm looking for your answer in the chat box. I'm not getting more responses. Only 1 or 2. I need more. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. More I want. 8. Slowly responses are coming. I want more. Everybody. Yes. Correct. Correct. Is it yes full stop or is it yes comma? Very good. It is yes comma. Subject to evaluation. First you evaluate him. So external auditor evaluates 3 things before relying upon the work of internal auditor. What are these 3 things? You tell me. External auditor evaluates 3 things. 1. The internal auditor. The internal audit department. The internal auditors work. Then I will decide whether to accept it or not. So what will you do here? What will you verify here? Whether he has any qualification, membership in professional body, experience, skills, training, expertise, background. Hello, you understand it? You understand what you will verify? You will verify membership, you will verify qualification, you will verify experience, you will verify skill, you will verify his competence, you will verify, whether he has the past track record, background of this. That is internal auditor. For example, it motivates me and also it actually scares me whenever I remember about a person. Okay, his name is Narasimhan. He was internal auditor of one big company, public sector company, where I was doing part of external audit as an articled assistant. I was not the auditor at that time, articled assistant. Once I saw this guy and I asked one person, hey, can I speak with him for 5 minutes? They said, we'll take his appointment. So one fine day he called me and asked, hey, what do you want? I was hardly not even 20 that time. I think by 21 I have become cost accountant, by 22 I have become chartered accountant. So if I am doing articles, I was lesser than that. Okay, so I was speaking with him. Then he gave his visiting card to me. I saw 9 qualifications on his card. 9 qualifications, including CA CMA CS, including MCOM MBA. He was CPA, he was certified information systems auditor, and he was certified internal auditor. Now tell me, as an articled assistant, can I evaluate his qualification and competence? The answer is no. Wicket is bowled. We have to say he is definitely knowledgeable. So, 1, I am happy. 1, I am satisfied. The external auditor is satisfied about 1. Can I rely on his work? No. No. Because he is knowledgeable. But what if here there is any scope restriction or objectivity, dilution? He is knowledgeable. He is a big guy. No doubt he is knowledgeable. But what if management told, Ray, verify this, don't verify this? So 1, evaluate internal auditor. 2, evaluate internal audit department. Composition of internal audit team. What is second evaluation? Composition of internal audit team. In the accounts and internal audit team of NTPC those days, I remember when we were doing the statutory audit, there were 28 people in this accounts department, 28 people in accounts department, where 15 of them are chartered accountants, cost accountants. 15 of the accounts staff are chartered accountants, cost accountants. That is in one branch. In every branch they have chartered accountants, cost accountants. Not one branch, one geography, south. So I was about to call my principal auditor. I was articled assistant that time. I was about to call my principal auditor and I was about to ask him, are you kidding me? 15 chartered accountants, cost accountants in the central accounts department are monitoring the accounts, and you want one articled assistant to find mistakes in that. So what is the composition of the audit teams? I'm not speaking about accounting team here. Internal audit department. What is their qualification? What is their experience? And most important thing is training. Are they well trained to do this work? Are they well trained? Do they understand the objectivity? Do they know what the hell they are doing? Then here the scope of the work, the designation, the status of internal auditor, to whom he is reporting. Internal auditor, now tell me, can internal auditor report to functional managers? Can internal auditor report to functional managers? like production manager, finance manager, accounts manager, sales manager, purchase manager. Can internal auditor report to CFO? Can internal auditor report to CEO? So in this ABC, which one is correct? You tell me. So if these three are ABC, which one is correct? Which one you prefer? Guys, tell me, which one you prefer? Can he report to functional managers? Can he report to CFO? Can he report to CEO? What should be his level? Who is his reporting authority? This is my question. If you do not understand the ABC, I am giving you fourth bullet point. Who is his reporting authority? Who is my boss? My question is, who is my boss? To whom I report? This is my, I am redrafting my question. It seems there is some confusion. Can internal auditor be reportable to functional managers? Can internal auditor be reportable to functional? Should I report to this level? So who's my reporting authority? Who's my boss? Now tell me, if I am internal auditor, who's my boss? Some guy is saying management. That is very vague answer, because all these are management only, no? All these three are management only. Try to keep this important point in mind. Internal auditor will not even report to CFO or CEO, because he evaluates CFO, CEO also. That means internal auditor report should go above CEO. Internal audit report should go above CEO. So who is above CEO? Only two options. Above CEO, who is there? Only two options. One, board of directors. Another one, above board of directors, one more is there. Above board of directors, audit committee. Audit committee. In some countries, internal auditors will have secret meetings with the audit committee without involving the management. Management will not even come to this meeting. Internal auditor and only audit committee will be there. Confidential meetings where management is not allowed. In some countries, internal auditor will be reporting to president or chairman. In US based countries, we call president. In UK based countries, we call chairman. In India, chairmans will be there. President of company will not be there, because we follow UK system. What is the difference? What is the difference? So this you might have studied in Audit Committee and Corporate Governance. You will study this in Audit Committee and Corporate Governance. So there is one chapter in CA Final, Auditing Syllabus, Audit Committee and Corporate Governance. But that will be taught in law subject, not in auditing subject, because the same syllabus is there in law and audit also. You will learn it in law. But what is the difference between CEO and chairman? Tell me. There are two categories of directors. A, executive directors. B, non-executive directors. Again, in non-executive directors, there are two categories: independent directors and other non-executive directors. So non-executive director who is not independent. For example, in Reliance Industries, Neeta Ambani is not executive director. That means she will not go daily to office morning 9 o'clock till evening 5 o'clock. She doesn't work. She is not in whole-time employment, or she is not even responsible for execution of something. So she is a non-executive director, but she is not independent. Why? Because promoter group, no? Relative of chairman. So she cannot be independent, but she is non-independent, non-executive director. You understand? So basically, board of directors means combination of A plus B. What is A? Executive directors. What is B? Non-executive director. Actually, first I should have written non-executive director. This is A. This is actually A. This should be first category. So board of directors means a combination of A plus B. Now, the leader of executive directors is dash. You tell me. We are discussing about audit committee and corporate governance here. Okay, but still it is relevant. Leader of executive directors is CEO, Chief Executive Officer. Chief Executive Officer is actually speaking employee of the company and biggest clerk. CEO is a clerk, biggest clerk. CEO can be employee of the company. CEO or rather must be employee of company. Full-time director. Okay, the leader of non-executive directors is Bolo. The leader of non-executive directors, chairman. The leader of non-executive directors is chairman. So logically, CEO will be below chairman. CEO will be one step below chairman. Chairman will be one step above CEO. That is the reason honorary chairman will be Ratan Tata. Chairman will be Ratan Tata. CEO will be someone else. Okay, now the chairman also Mr. Chandrasekharan, that is a different story. But for your understanding, I am telling you. Like for your understanding, Satya Nadella, CEO. Satya Nadella, CEO. But chairman or president will be someone like Bill Gates. Obviously, Bill Gates will be one step above Satya Nadella and Microsoft. Okay, so now if you understand the story, internal auditor will report to the chairman but not to CEO. This is the story. Hello, do you understand this? Because if you ask internal auditor to report to CEO, his independence will be compromised. His independence will be compromised. So this one. Now one more thing. In many countries, like for example, if you read Companies Act in UK, they have clearly mentioned one sentence, okay? Direct assistance of internal auditor or internal audit team in external or statutory audit is prohibited. Though this provision is not there in India, like law, we have to follow this in spirit. Though it is not there in letter, we have to follow this. That means external auditor cannot ask internal auditor to do something for him. See, for example, physical verification of inventories, or for example, cash book is verified by internal auditor already. Now can external auditor use this work in his audit? The answer is yes, depending on so many cases. Yes, subject to XYZ conditions. But can external auditor ask internal auditor to verify cash book for the purpose of external audit? The answer is no. Are you following me? Direct assistance of internal auditor in external audit is prohibited. He has done something, you can use it, but you cannot ask him, hey, can you do this for me? No, you're not allowed to, idiot. We are paying money for you. How can you ask internal auditor to do something? Why will I pay money to you then? Okay, now look here. Determining whether in which areas and to what extent the work of internal audit function can be used. That means evaluating the internal audit function. Read this 3 beautiful points. Evaluation of internal audit function includes 1. Appraisal, examining or evaluating, monitoring adequacy, effectiveness of internal controls, scope of internal audit function. So wait 1 second. This is not what we have discussed till now. This one. So this UK law we told, no, direct assistance. In India, there is one, what we call twisted provision. If external auditor is using internal auditor for direct assistance, then external auditor shall take care of ABC. That means do something and then you can use. So this is one sentence where personally I am not happy with. It should not be given like this. But strictly if you read law, strictly if you read this ICA pronouncements and guidance notes, indirectly they are saying, dear external auditor, you can use internal auditor directly. So we can say there is a deviation, like from international financial reporting standards, some carve-ins, carve-outs, deviations are there, no, to Ind AS. So like that, from international standards and international law, little deviation. So we'll see that also. Okay, now see this question. Okay, first read this. So what is basically we are discussing, whether we, the statutory auditors, can use the work of internal auditors. That is the question. So Susan, can you read this?
Yes, sir. Determining the nature and extent of work of internal audit function that can be used. The external auditor shall consider nature and scope of work done, and it's relevant to overall strategy and audit plan. Determine the adequacy of internal audit work for external auditor's purpose. Objectivity of the internal audit function. Level of competence of internal audit function. Whether a systematic and disciplined approach is applied, including quality control.
So one is objectivity of internal auditor, second one is competence of internal auditor, third one is approach of internal auditor. Next, say this.
Determining whether, in which areas and to what extent internal auditors can be provide direct assistance. Nature and extent of work that can be assigned to internal auditors providing direct assistance. The external auditor shall not use internal auditors to provide direct assistance to perform procedures that...
I will not scroll down. Can you read this and just imagine what will be the next step? What will be given next in the next line? Can you just think of it? Forming opinion. Anything where judgment is required, evaluation of management judgment is required, or auditors forming of judgment or opinion is required, you cannot use internal auditor, because you can delegate him something at a basic level. Sir, please verify bank reconciliation statement. Still allowed. External auditor calling internal auditor and saying, sir, please verify bank reconciliation statement. Still allowed. So he cannot ask, develop audit report, no. Or, calculate provisioning and tell me the adequacy of provision. Idiot, that is your duty. External auditor can ask internal auditor to verify cash book or to verify bank reconciliation statement. That you can do. But you cannot ask whether the provision is adequate. Anything that involves judgment, evaluation of judgment, opinion, you should not use them. So, read here. That involve making significant judgments about the audit, relating to higher assessed risk of material misstatement, relating to work which is reported to management or those charged with governance, relating to decisions the external auditor makes in accordance with standards on auditing. So these 4 areas are there, no? Left side 4 areas are there. So in these 4 areas, direct assistance is allowed or prohibited? Hello? In these 4 areas, direct assistance of internal auditor and external audit is allowed or prohibited? Prohibited. Important. Very important. Then, if at all you are using internal auditor's direct assistance, you should consider these 3 points. What is that? Amount of judgment with respect to planning and performing relevant audit procedures, evaluation of audit evidence gathered, assess risk of material misstatement, evaluation of existence and significance of threats. These 3 things you need to look at. That means nothing but review. So these 3 points 1, 2, 3, before believing his work to be correct or before accepting his work, you should do review. You should assess the risk of material misstatement. If the risk of material misstatement is high, it goes to left hand side, no? So prohibited. You should not use it. Then they have given one evaluation procedure on the right hand side. This ABCD they have given, no? Put a star mark. The external auditor uses if the external auditor uses the internal auditors to provide direct assistance, then the auditor shall document ABCD. So what is the key word in this? Hello, tell me what is the keyword in this? Again, what is the keyword? Documentation. So what is to be documented? So what is the keyword here? What is the keyword here? Shall not, prohibited. What is the keyword here? Consider. That means consider these points, these following points, 1, 2, 3 boxes before you ask them to do some work. Okay, now let us see what documentation you need to. Can you read this, ma?
So which one to read?
This one. If the external auditor uses internal auditor, this documentation wala part.
Okay. If the external auditor uses internal auditors to provide direct assistance on the audit, the external auditor shall include in the audit documentation the evaluation of the existence and significance of threats to the objectivity of the internal auditors and the level of competence of the internal auditors used to provide direct assistance.
Wait, tell me the keyword. The keyword. These keywords are to be scribbled on a separate note so that it becomes short notes for your easy reference and revision. Underline. Threats to the objectivity. Threats to the objectivity. Level of competence. B.
The basis for the decisions regarding the nature and extent of the work performed by the internal auditors.
Nature, timing and extent of work. Next.
Who reviewed the work performed and the date and extent of the review in accordance with SA 230 audit documentation.
Important. So who reviewed the work? I told you before reviewing you don't accept it. Okay, next, continue.
The written agreements obtained from an authorized representative of the entity and the internal auditors.
Written agreements. So there should be written communication, written agreement accepting, this you need to do. For this purpose, I want you to do this. I need to communicate to them in writing, no? Next.
The working papers prepared by the internal auditors provided direct assistance on the audit engagement.
So if internal auditor is accepting, see, I'll tell you one thing, okay? Normally what happens, consider a company like, this HCL, Infosys. Always what happens, for these big enterprises, but for these big companies, if EY is internal auditor, KPMG will be external auditor. If PwC is internal auditor, Deloitte will be external auditor. If that is the case, if external auditor is asking for the direct assistance of internal auditor, they will not do. At the time of accepting the audit itself, they will say, we are conducting internal audit. If you ask us to assist in external audit, we will not do. Clearly mentioned. So in those cases, you cannot even ask the internal auditor to do something for you. So they will say no. But if they accept A and company is external auditor, say B and company, I am the internal auditor. If I accept to assist you directly, then I should give you working papers also, because this work I have done for you. Then I cannot say working papers are the property of the auditor. Hello, wait. This work you are doing for them, so you have to give documentation, that working papers to them. That is this point. The working papers prepared by the internal auditor should be documented by the external auditor. You understand? Next, last one. Finally, review of internal audit function. That is all. So with this, internal audit is over. Read this. What is this? Type in chat box. Hello. What is this? Management audit. So we completed internal audit part, and the second part is management audit and operational audit, which is, small thing but important thing from exam point of view. Management audit and operational audit. So in this chapter, one half is covered, another half is pending. So any doubts till whatever we have discussed up to this point?